Hello and welcome to Wrestle Talk with Rabbit Beaver. You're going to be joining me here in just a few minutes. It's going to be none other than the Shotgun Stevie Spencer will be here with us. And man, he's going to be talking about what's going to be happening this Friday at New World Wrestling in Briceville, Tennessee. They've had some changes to the card. They're going to be updating some stuff that's going to be happening with it. But man, what a big show it's going to be. And I apologize, guys. I'm currently traveling home right now. I've got my phone. I'm using it in the car to contact each and every one of you to have such a great show with you guys, because that's how dedicated we are right here at Wrestle Talk with Rabbit Beaver. We want you guys to know that you all are the most important things in our lives first. But man, it's going to be a slobber knocker. I mean, the Doctor of Destruction, Joe Briggs, is going to be having a world championship match against none other than No Joke Johnny Pope right there this coming Friday, and it's going to be a huge event that's going to be taking place. And like I said, here shortly, the Shotgun Stevie Spencer will be joining me, and as soon as he gets here, we're going to be going over all the action. For those of you that missed our Wrestle Talk with Rabbit Beaver this last Tuesday, we had a dual show Tuesday that happened last Tuesday. We had a radio version show that went out, and then we had also a regular scheduled televised event that went out as well. We would encourage each of you to become one of our Power Slam members on Buzzsprout. That's at buzzsprout.com/a Rabbit Beaver is how you can do that. Wrestle Talk with a Rabbit Beaver. So come on out and join us and check all that great action out that's going to be right there. And hopefully Stevie will be joining me. Let me message him real quick and make sure that he is on his way, because I definitely do not want you guys to miss any of the action that's going to be coming up in Briceville, Tennessee, coming up here shortly this Friday, guys. It's going to be an excellent time in the world of professional wrestling. Wherever you guys are at, you don't want to miss a minute of the action that's going to be taking place right there. Oh, Lord. I do apologize about that. I did not mean to lose connection with you guys. As you see, we are driving. We are going through the backside, going towards Dayton, Tennessee right now. We're in Sell Creek, Tennessee. So it's going to take us just a little bit of time to get to you guys. But yeah, we had an excellent show. We had a double Tuesday that was going on with Wrestle Talk with Rabbit Beaver. We got to post a little bit about the WWE, some things that are going on in WWE, things that are happening throughout WWE currently. I'm very surprised this past week that on the John Cena Farewell Tour, we got to see Nick Namath come back and Matt Cardona come back under Woo 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 Zack Ryder. I think that that was a nice touch to add to the John Cena going away tour. I don't know if it's going to be anything huge, but it just goes to show you that even though that may have been his last Raw, he was definitely ready and prepared for anything that was thrown his way. And man, he delivered in such a big way, such a big night for all those guys on Raw that's going to be taken there. So awesome. We're waiting on none other than the Shotgun Stevie Spencer to join us here. As soon as he gets in, guys, we will be talking about New World Wrestling and everything that's going to be going on with New World Wrestling this Friday in Briceville, Tennessee, where the Doctor of Destruction is going to be taking on none other than No Joke Johnny Poke out there in a world title match. You guys don't want to miss any of that action. Please stick around with us. He will be with us shortly. He'll be joining us shortly, guys. Also, guys, there's going to be a hometown boy down there. Red Riggins is going to be down there live and in action as well. He's going to be fighting. And we don't know who he's going to be fighting, but I'm going to tell you he's going to have a great match going to be going on. Get him Kilgore is going to be taking on Mr. Hendricks himself. So it's going to be excellent. This is going to be right there, right here at November Reigns, man. This Friday in Briceville, Tennessee for each and every one of you. So please stick around as we wait on Shotgun Stevie Spencer to get here. Now, the Shotgun Stevie Spencer has told me multiple times that he is very excited for New World Wrestling, very excited for everything that's going to be taking place at New World Wrestling this Friday, especially with their inaugural show coming back out. A lot of guys have come together and really tried to make this show special for them, and I hope that it can be special for each and every one of you guys as well once we get there. So please hang on with me. I believe that he is on his way right now. Please, guys. All right, we've sorry about that. It keeps going in and out. We're still traveling. We're on our way, almost home. We're in Dayton right now. I'm sorry about the bad lighting that we've got going on here. This is a nice little mobile review of everything that's happening, and we've had a great time here. Today we had a good day. Me and the old evil Spot Mooney, we decided that we were going to go up and get some business taken care of up the Cookville way, and we did. We were on some stuff that happened there, and we were definitely making it happen, and now we're on our way back to the studio. So I apologize about our drive, how dark it is. We're just using the light inside the car here to light us up for this. We weren't expecting to be like this, but we are today. And hey, here he is, the man for the hour. Without further ado, Shotgun Stevie Spencer.
Hey. Sorry that I'm a little bit behind there. I was trying to get everything, all my ducks in a row, and doing a lot of preparation and a lot of pre-production for Friday's event, and had a little bit I wanted to share for anybody that was interested, kind of like the preview show, if you will. Let me get this up.
All right. Let me pop it up big for you.
There we go. All right. So in no particular order, we'll just kind of go down the card and kind of show you what to expect coming up this Friday, the 21st, in Briceville, Tennessee, 6 o'clock when doors open. 7 o'clock will be the first bell time. So as you had seen before, the Nirvana Comics Tag Team Showdown was going to be Tom Coffey and Cousin Condrey, the team Trial and Terror, going against the team of Brandon Hartsook and Axton Ray, the brother team there. That kind of the story as to why that matchup came about is obviously Tom's Coffey background in law enforcement. He's obviously got his pick of people he can bring into his team and put out there to help him kind of do his bidding and kind of like the good behavior, if you will, to get a little bit of time off their sentence. Obviously, Axton Ray and Brandon Hartsook, truth be told, Axton, I was initially going to put him in the main event picture for the first heavyweight championship, but he didn't return my call quick enough. So we kind of had to bump him down, and I said, hey, if you can find a tag partner, we can go ahead and see about getting you into the tag team picture. So here we go. So that's kind of what's going on. Just today, we found out that Cousin Condrey's been recommitted. So we don't know when that's going to be, when he's going to be out, because apparently he had gotten to a scuffle, wanting to do something. I think he pile drive the vending machine. It's a whole thing. So he is going to be on lockdown for a little bit. But Tom Coffey, having an array of partners to choose from, has chosen Bobby Kang to be his partner. Bobby Kang,
the big deal, Bobby Kang?
The big deal, Bobby Kang, as you know, is also a NetPro alum and current student of the game over at NetPro Studios in Kingsport. So he will be tagging with Tom Coffey to take on the team of Axton Ray and Brandon Hartsook to crown the first tag team champions in New World Wrestling. And then moving on. So previously we had Sam Street stepping up to take on Judy Lee Taylor. However, due to injury, but by the way, Sam, we are hoping everything gets taken care of there. We have moved some things around since Andrew Thomas is going to be there and Valeska is always there on his side. We said, hey, you know what? We have the perfect thing for you. And she said, hey, you know what? That's fine. That's okay. As you know, Rabbit, she gets involved in a couple of the matches. You know her, and also Rebecca Lynn also have that dynamic where they're helping out their other halves get the wins. So I said, hey, you know what? I'm not even going to play the game. You know what? Let's see if we can put you into some wrestling gear and go take on Judy Lee Taylor. She begrudgingly accepted, but that's going to be our women's match this Friday.
Well, hold on. Before we go any farther here, now we both know that Valeska has a slew of history of helping Andrew Thomas and the Kingdom of Perfection win. But do you really believe that Sam Street injured herself, or do you think that she's just avoiding Judy Lee Taylor here?
That remains to be seen. I don't know. I think Sam is from another state, so I can't go verify it, myself firsthand. So I just kind of take it, as is with a grain of salt. And you fool me once, fool me twice. You know how the saying goes. So we're just going to take it in stride and say, hey, we're going to try to give Judy Lee Taylor somebody. After this, I mean, if I can't put the call out for someone else to step up to it, I may have to start putting her up against male opponents.
Well, I'm just going to tell you the truth. I think this is going to be a little bit of justice for the fans as they get to see Valeska take on Judy Lee Taylor. And I believe Judy Lee Taylor is going to be nothing but all business inside that ring with Valeska. And it's going to show you the test of strength and the test of might. Not to count Valeska out, because we know she can fight. We know she can be dirty. We know she knows how to cheat. But my goodness, this is going to be something spectacular to see, and the fans are going to love it.
Yeah, we definitely have to give her due. I mean, she has been out of competition for a while. The saying that I've kind of adopted that I think also applies to her is it's not the setback, but the comeback. So it is her comeback after a period of time. So, how debuts go, how comebacks happen, so maybe she might get that, what do you call it? Advantage or beginners, not really beginner's luck, but you know what I mean. She may have the luck of the Irish that night. We'll see.
But we got to know, is she going to pick it back up and move with ease? You don't ever know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trained, so I'm not going to act like I am, but I do know from hearing people that have been out with injuries or gone for a long time that ring rust is a real thing. So who knows if that's going to play a factor. And hey, Keith. All right, so
moving on. What do we got next?
As I was saying, obviously we had to change some things around. Always that little disclaimer at the end of a flyer is card subject to change. So we had made some changes. We do have some Net Pro guys in the house, so we had moved some things around that you may have a question about, but it'll be answered in short. Beaver, just bear with me here. So we got Ryan Austin, the Tech God, versus the Grease Monkey Red Riggins. This seems to be more of kind of what we were going for with Evan versus Red, that kind of blue collar versus white collar. But we're going blue collar and whatever the Ryan is. So we feel like obviously the Knuckle Buster and then Ryan Austin can put on a good match. We felt like this was good, and like I said, it seems like something out of nothing, but I promise there'll be a payoff in just a little bit. Just bear with me here.
Absolutely. Red Riggins is definitely going to give it his all. He does each and every time that he's inside the ring. He's one of the hardest working men in professional wrestling, and he's one of the dirtiest men in professional wrestling. And I mean that. He is grimy. He comes out there and he gives everything he's got 120% of the time, and he's going to scratch and claw his way to a victory, I believe, in this one.
Literally and figuratively, dirtiest, one of the dirtiest guys. All right, moving on. So we had earlier we had announced that Jordan Maivia had been injured and is not going to be fit to perform Friday. So we have to make some adjustments there. Obviously, new up-and-comer Nick Blackwell is going to be in the house. So we have to put him against Devon Belcher. The hard-hitting style of Nick Blackwell versus the speed and agility of Devon Belcher is definitely going to be a match to watch.
This will be my first time seeing Nick Blackwell inside the ring. Now, I've heard a lot of good stuff about him, but this will be a first time for me seeing him. Now, Devon Belcher, I've seen on multiple occasions. Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell you can't underestimate him in any shape, form, or fashion. That D1 athlete, elite athlete that he is, will come out and take over if you just give him an inch inside there. Great.
Yeah, no, that's the good part about some of these matchups is we do have the students coming out of Net Pro that are really the X factor is on them because we don't know what they can bring. We don't know what their bag of tricks are versus these veterans that we've seen for the past year, 2 years, and so on. That it's not so much that we get the same thing, but we know the lengths they'll go to. We've seen their spectrum. We've seen how they can wrestle, and we've kind of gotten an idea of what their averages are versus these net pro guys that are not only bringing their own set of skills and routines to the ring, but also whatever they may learn and pick up here and there and then try it out. It's one of those things. It's kind of risk versus reward, where you have a big reward to gain. So, what length are you going to go to show out to really plant your flag and start strong in New World Wrestling and wrestling as a whole?
I can agree with that. I think that you've got some great competitors here who are all going to be looking for the main goal, but you've got huge matches to announce still. Let's go on.
Yep. Speaking of huge, so we had an issue with MJ Davis, and we obviously had to move around Red Riggins. So we went ahead and thought, you know what? Let's have a good match that we might have seen before, but not in New World Wrestling, obviously, because we're newer, but maybe we haven't seen it in a long time. So we've got RT3 going up against Evan Golden. I mean, what all can you say about this? You've got the speed and the power of RT3. You have the wit and the agility and just the charisma of Evan Golden. And when you start putting these two in a vacuum and shake it up, you're going to have an absolute banger of a match. And I hope I didn't lose you. Well, we might have some technical difficulties there. Beaver, you still with us? Well, we will hold on. Tell you what, I'll keep going, and we will see when he comes back. If we need to circle back, we can. So there we go. RT3 versus Evan Golden. MJ Davis is not going to be able to make it, unfortunately, but we made this match in lieu of that, and we shall see how it goes. Moving on. So earlier in the match, or earlier in the month, we had announced that Andrew Thomas is going up against someone from earlier in the pre-show. We were going to do winner faces Andrew Thomas on the main show, but clearly by deductive reasoning, you can tell that it's going to be Crazo versus Andrew Thomas, the Net Pro champion. One of the students there in Net Pro in Kingsport will be taking on Andrew Thomas on our main show as well. This match, obviously, the Fatal 4-Way will be taking place during a matinee that's going to be for the students of Briceville Elementary. So they'll be able to get to enjoy that, and it'll be taped for anyone else that wants to watch it after the fact. Also, we have Get 'em Kilgore, Glitch in the Matrix Kilgore versus Hyper Rage, Chris Kendrick. Obviously, this is one that, growing up as a kid, I always liked the cruiserweight type matches where you're going to have a lot of fast, high-flying, hard-hitting action. And that's the same kind of event that we hope to capture with these two taking each other on. That is hopefully going to be an instant classic. Obviously, we said earlier, too, that Jordan, unfortunately, is injured. So we had to make that change for him versus Devon Belcher. Hey, I think we're back.
I'm back. Are you there?
Yeah. So let me back up. I was kind of going on and carrying the ball there. So we had dropped off when I had just announced RT3 versus Evan Golden. So yeah, I'm not sure
Yes, sir.
how far you got initially, but we will start back here. I'm not sure when you had dropped off there, Beaver, but
You had just announced RT3 versus Evan Golden, and it just cut out completely as soon as you got it
yeah,
out.
due to excitement, of course, I'm sure. No, but I was saying that you have the power and the strength of RT3 versus the wit and charisma and agility of Evan Golden. It's one of those that we decided to, because we had people having to drop or change and make changes, that obviously it was better to kind of move things around strategically to have this banger of a match that's definitely going to be one of our semi mains.
And it seems to be that RT3 has a grudge in this match as well, as he is 0-4 on their last meetings against Evan Golden. So he's looking to get that one big win against the Golden Child Evan Golden here.
Oh, see, I wasn't even read into the record these two had. I was kind of drawing off my limited knowledge of the the history around here. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. I'm pretty sure that it's taken place, but it's definitely one that when you kind of have the yin and yang put together, you're going to have a banger of a match regardless. And now that it's kind of a fresh start for everybody at New World Wrestling, it might be something where RT3's got to get creative. He's got to kind of go back to the drawing board, and he's had plenty of time to pull out whatever stops is needed, initially against MJ Davis, but now against Evan Golden.
Well, not only does he have to pull out all the stops, but he's going to have to dig through the salt in the wound, especially if you go back about a year ago. Evan Golden took a major title from him in Beside the Ring Wrestling. He took that championship away from him.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to dig through that salt that's in his wound, and he's going to have to go deep and pull something out that we haven't seen in him in a while, and that's the aggression that he holds on the inside of him.
Indeed. Yeah, hopefully it isn't an 0-5. I'm not up on sports here, but I guess there's any teams that are around that are big that are doing not so great this year, but hopefully he doesn't follow in their footsteps and he kind of breaks the curve on day one for New World Wrestling.
Agreed, sir.
And also, this was something, too, that I was pointing out, that initially we had Andrew Thomas versus a mystery opponent, but if anybody was reading between the lines, they could tell that it's obviously going to be Andrew Thomas versus Crazo in our match there, facing off. Initially, we were doing, I think it's probably because the orientation, maybe this isn't showing up correctly, but initially we were doing a Fatal 4-Way match on our pre-show that'll be taped for Nick Blackwell, Ryan Austin, Bobby King, and Crazo, and a Net Pro showcase to determine the winner to go against Andrew Thomas. But I figured, hey, I'm going to have these guys in the house anyway. Might as well use them and kind of pick the best, yin to yang. Who's going to be the best one as far as who's going to match up against what style to get the best match possible. Crazo versus Andrew Thomas. Nick Blackwell versus Devon Belcher, Ryan Austin versus Red Riggins. And then obviously, the old saying is big meaty men slapping meat. I like Tom Coffey and Bobby King, so I want that big, hard-hitting action. I'm the one that always pops for a spine buster. I want to see that type of action. Obviously, I don't think Brandon Hartsock's going to be able to slam either one of the guys, but Axton Ray has been able to, throw people around, so we'll see how it works. We'll see how it works out. Tom Coffey, obviously, if it doesn't work out, has plenty of people to draw from. And obviously, we hope that Cousin Condry is a good boy and comes back to us whenever he can. Also, I was talking about the Glitch in the Matrix Kilgore. Get him Kilgore versus the Hyper Rage Chris Kendrick. I was hearkening back to the days of WCW when those lucha cruiserweight type matches where you have those smaller guys, but they're flying around the ring like, they're almost defying gravity. And that's the kind of match that I want to showcase with these two that we're almost guaranteed to get. And I hope that obviously translates to the audience that they're just as hungry for that as well.
Well, Chris Kendrick is definitely hungry. He's hungry for gold anywhere that he can get it. And he's been anywhere and everywhere this past year, including the National Wrestling Alliance, Joe Kazana Promotions, Crossfire Professional Wrestling. And he's trying to make a name for himself on the indie scene and also in that independent circuit throughout. He's came through and performed at NAWA and NAIWA, and he's had excellent matches there, and he's still hungry for that gold. And then you've got the glitch in the matrix, one of the most must-see, high-flying, hard-hitting, action-packed men in professional wrestling. And I'm going to tell you, if you've never seen him before, you want to go Friday to Autumn Reigns in Briceville, Tennessee, just to get a glimpse of the glitch in the matrix, right?
Exactly. You might have seen him before at School of Morton as well. I know he was out there quite a bit. But like I was talking to our co-owner Ryan about, I don't necessarily remember even giving him a call, but there's the graphic anyway. Moving on. Obviously, we also mentioned that Jordan Maivia was injured, so we had to substitute. So we're hoping that obviously Jordan gets better soon, and we see him at our next show, which will be announced on Friday. What our next show is going to be. That we already did that, and then obviously, last but not least, these two have been going back and forth, Joe to Johnny, Johnny to Joe, and actually I think even as early as today or yesterday, Johnny posted another promo or another message to Joe Briggs again. There's no love lost between these guys. Started in SPCW, has taken platform in other promotions, NWA, JCP. It has even taken shape in Elevate Pro Wrestling. And it's these two have always kind of been just this close together. Now it's time to run them against each other for the prize and the pride of New World Wrestling, and that is going to be the heavyweight championship to really end 2025 on a strong note, and then beckon it in 2026. What else do you got to say about this, Rabbit?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. These two men have been so close, fighting with and against each other all over East Tennessee, all over North Carolina, all over Virginia. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Doctor of Destruction has made this personal with Johnny Poke, and Johnny Poke isn't taking it lightly. He is definitely made mention more than once in several promos he's cut over the past several weeks that he is going to walk out of there the new World Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. I don't know if I believe him or not, because the Doctor of Destruction is hell-bent on causing all sorts of destruction to Johnny Pope, all sorts of dismemberment to his body, and he will leave no stone unturned while he has given him the examination of a lifetime, Stevie. I think that's where we're at on this, is these two men are going to have a slobber knocker inside that ring where the rules may or may not apply.
Exactly. And speaking of rules, as we had talked about with River City Media when we were on the It's Real to Me podcast, we're already, me, you, some of the other guys, we're already read in on some of the factors and variables that are going to be coming into place in this. And that is obviously that of Rebecca Lynn. I made sure, obviously, to recruit a seasoned referee who has followed these guys in an official capacity in other promotions. Referee James Carson. So he's going to be there. He's already read in. He can't necessarily ban her from ringside from the jump. Joe obviously needs his management. He needs her there. But I said at the first sign of anything, you kick her, because I want this to be as clean and cut down the middle, as they call it, in the center of the ring type match as possible, because we owe that to Johnny Poke, but also we owe that to the next New World Wrestling Champion.
It's very funny that we mentioned Rebecca Lynn here, because she has been at the center of controversy for a lot of championships that Joe Briggs has won and retained, because she got involved in some shape, form or fashion inside of a match. And giving the heads up to your senior referee, James Carson, is the right thing to do to let him know, hey, you need to be on the lookout for it. If you see it, you got to go. But you have to remember, Joe has friends in lonely places. We saw it at SPCW, a very unlikely, very, very unlikely trio form between him and the Stew Crew magically just appeared out of nowhere. You
I mean,
have to wonder.
you've had him and the Stew Crew. You've even had I'm even throwing it back to
Yeah,
Xander Storm. You've had Mike Kilgannon in there. No live loss between those guys in different capacities, but they had their own stable team, faction, group, whatever you want to call it, before the one where he was with Absolute Power and Stew Crew. So these guys are still around. These guys live right up the road here and there. They can show up or pop in at any given time. But to ignore the fact that these variables keep coming up, these common denominators, Rebecca Lynn and this and that, is an insult to not only James Carson's officiating capacity, but also the fans. And it's something that, hey, I'm cognizant of that, and I'm putting it out there that I want it to be known that we're aware of it, and we're going to try to make it as clean as possible.
Well, my question is how do you stop it from happening? Especially if, let's say, Rebecca Lynn gets thrown from ringside, but then he's a master. He's a doctor. He's brilliant. He knows how to dissect you at every given opportunity. So how do you, I guess the right word is, how do you judge the mind of a mastermind like that to know where his next move's going to be?
I mean, I don't think you can. I think you still go back to the rules, not to take a page out of the gents book, but you have to do it by the book, and you have to rely on that because that has pushed us through history for so long. We have to really fall back on the black and white there, and obviously, well, there is a certain degree of discretion on the referee side, but that is something that do I know what Joe's got thought up? No, he is a doctor in that capacity, and that is literally you have a associate's, bachelor's, master's, doctorate. He has a piece of paper that says he is a specialist in this that I've not done. So as far as methodically what he's got going on, I have no clue, but I can try to make sure that it is as by the rules and as laid out as much as possible. But Johnny Poke, he's no 100% angel. He is a cowboy in that, and if you read through what all that entails, maybe something you got to pull out your own black magic or whatever you want to call it to get things done. But I think that it's come to the point now where, frankly, it's pissed Joe off enough that if he loses, it'll be because it's hubris. It'll be because he's wanting to lay out such a message and make such a statement that it becomes his Achilles heel. But we'll see.
I think that's a fair assessment. Now, we've had a legend come into the chat here. The legendary Pat Rose from the National Wrestling Alliance said, where are you guys from? So he's kind of interested. Now, you got to know his son is wrestling currently, too. Ty Rose is out here wrestling as well. Okay. And he may be interested in coming to New World Wrestling. Is that something we can see in the future?
Slide in my DMs. Oh, hey, look here. Casey Kazana popping in. I got Johnny Poke. See, even there. See, like I said, I'm not going to go in and insult anybody's intelligence. Johnny Poke knows who he's going against. He's faced him before. He has, had that glancing pass in other promotions where he couldn't necessarily fight him. Way back to, I think it was All War, No Games. It was NWA JCP. It was in Coalfield.
JCP.
If you remember how that worked out with Johnny Poke and Joe Briggs, is history going to repeat itself, or is it going to be rewritten?
Good question, Stevie. That's an excellent question. And the only answer is going to be found out this Friday in Briceville, Tennessee. You guys have to show up in force. Come on out to none other than Autumn Reigns. Where's it going to be at, Stevie?
going to be at Briceville, Tennessee, Briceville Elementary School, 103 Slate Stone Road. Pat, to answer your question, we're mainly in the Anderson County, right outside of Knoxville, Tennessee area. But hey, we're willing to travel if need be. We're going to kind of start here where our roots are, where our smaller tribes and communities are. But hey, we're willing to go from startup to a little bit bigger. Just if the things fall into place, history will repeat itself. Saying as Johnny saying, it's one of those things. You can still be the good guy, and sometimes you got to do things you're not really proud of. It really it's risk and reward. It's one of those things where if it matters to protect your family or to make sure they're fed, maybe you do some things. Who knows? Who
Well,
knows?
here's what's really interesting is we haven't really talked a lot about this. So we've talked a lot about Joe and Joe cheating and having Rebecca Lynn cheat for him all the time. But how often have you heard of the Poke gang showing up in force and going out there and having a ball with the matches that Johnny Poke has had? Have you ever seen it? Would it be a first?
I mean, as far as the Poke gang itself, normally it's the people that are sitting in the seats. That's the PG4L. But if you remember, also before he was in a tag team called Whiskey and Warrants. That's one of those things where, hey, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's one of those things where you and I may have different views, but we're here for a common prize. We're here for a common goal. We're going to get stuff done. Who knows?
And that's just it. You don't ever know. You don't ever know what's going to happen on any given night. And this Friday night is going to be extremely special as New World Wrestling is going to crown a brand new champion. Will it be the Doctor of Destruction, Joe Briggs, or will it joke Cowboy himself, Johnny Poke? That's the question that you all, Briceville, Tennessee, this Friday. What time is the doors going to open there, Stevie?
Going to be open at 6 p.m. Eastern. First match will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will tell you, too, if anyone's not familiar with Briceville, there is bad cell reception at sometimes. So obviously try to bring cash. We'll try to work with anybody who needs to use Venmo, Cash App, or anything like that. But that's something to be aware of. Like I said, I want to recapture what made wrestling great for me as a kid, and that was merchandise, signs, cheering and booing, fan engagement is what really is going to be the driving heartbeat and pulse of this. And I want it there. I want people to, I want you to know that it is okay to get involved from that standpoint. But obviously, as we put out earlier in a post, you can cheer and yell and boo and whatnot. But obviously, in recent events for other promotions and other places that we see on like TikTok and whatnot, it's never okay to get involved physically and let the professionals do what they need to do. It is entertainment at the end of the day. So they feed off of your interaction as much as you do to them. So, or they feed off of it. It works both ways. You get a better show that way. Casey, you're kind of like Casey Kazana is in the chat saying you never know who's going to show up. Are you trying to hint at something, Boo Boo? I mean, if you might need to slide in my DMs. I mean, I know he's close, but.
He might be trying to campaign for another butt whooping like the one that he got at Prodigy Pro Wrestling. You never know. I mean, I'm just spitballing here.
Oof. I don't know. I shouldn't get into that. I will take a moment to throw a little bit to highlight. Well, let me see if I can get back to it here. Obviously, too, speaking of recapturing what was great when I was a kid, and that was live events having a theme song. The theme song for this is going to be Parasite by Damage Joy. Make sure you go and like and follow them. They are a local band from Knoxville. It's one of those that kind of captures the essence of what this event is, and that's one of those things that anything that's bothering you, kind of like that match that's going to be taking place between Joe Briggs and Johnny Poke, and that is to face your problems head on and to take care of it. So that really spoke to me. Obviously, they're a local band, so I wanted to give them a shout out. They're the official song of Autumn Rains. Be sure to watch them on YouTube and Spotify. And I think that might be all I've got. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm tapped. Anybody got any questions or anything? Anything you want to throw out here?
Well, I have a quick question for you. Who becomes the number one contender after this match is over with?
It's a good question. I think that the champion definitely has the advantage as far as who they want to face. But it's one of those things too, from an administrative standpoint, who comes asking, what caliber of person is asking, what, who's demanding it really. I mean, who there's a couple of different circumstances. It's really case by case basis. From this card in and of itself, it's something that me and Ryan would talk about and see who put on the best matches. But it is kind of like I think should be almost kind of like the corporate side of things, and it's like where do you want to go? What do you want from your time here in New World Wrestling? What do you aspire to do? Kind of pulling the curtain back a little bit too. I've asked these guys, hey, give me your top 3 of people you want to face and you've never faced before, because I want them stretched just as much creatively as I am. Because when you do that, you have a better product. But also too, I'm here to help them break barriers and achieve things that they've never been able to do. Because really, the most part, when you show up to a show, you may be doing somebody you worked 4 or 5 times, but you've been this close to somebody you've never worked before, and you're like, man, I really would like a match with that person. Hey, I'm here to make that happen. I'm here to facilitate that because, hey, chances are the people they're sitting out in the stacks want to see it just as much as you want to be involved in it. So that's kind of a little bit pulling the curtain back on the creative process. It depends. It really depends on, what me and Ryan are feeling the morning of the 22nd. It depends on what unread messages I have in my inbox on the 22nd. And also the date for the next event will be announced that night, Friday night. So we've already got the next one lined out, but you got to come and come and see it in order to know when the next one is and where it's going to be.
Well, that's the big thing is you have to show up. Not only do you have to show up, but you got to be able to be the best fans you can be for New World Wrestling on that night, this Friday, coming on up for Autumn Rains in Briceville, Tennessee. Tell us one more time where it's at. Tell us how we can get the tickets and bring cash at the door, correct?
Yeah, Briceville, Tennessee, at Briceville Elementary School, 103 Slate Stone Road. We do have different tiered pricing. Obviously, first row, second row, and general admission. It's 15. I think it's 13 and 10. Obviously, bring cash because this venue is a little bit different because where it's at, it's in the kind of right near the coal mines there in Briceville, Tennessee, a city or a town that's not really seen much that we are prospecting in and of ourselves to see if the community's hungry and also see that if the community outside of there is supportive enough to literally travel and go wherever we're going, because we want to be pioneers in that regard where, hey, these people will follow us because they believe as much in us and much as what we're doing creatively and passionately, as anything else, because I want people to know that we are listening. We do want to hear your feedback. We will adjust and be as close to that as possible. I'm not here to give people just straight wrestling just for the sake of it. I want it to mean something, and I want you to capture that light as much as I have.
And that's just it, guys. New World Wrestling needs you, each and every one of you that are watching this post right now. Come on out this Friday. Let's have a good time together, and let's get slammed together right there at New World Wrestling. We will be crowning a brand new heavyweight champion. We will be having an awesome tag team match take place. We're going to see Red Riggins get out there and just be the dirtiest player in the game right now that we all know he can be. We're going to see Evan Golden versus RT3. We're going to see Johnny Pope versus none other than the man himself, the Doctor of Destruction, Joe Briggs. We're going to see Judy Lee Taylor take on none other than Valeska. It's going to be an action-packed night. You guys don't want to miss this. Hey, and we missed Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas is taking on somebody special too. Talk about it one more time, Stevie.
It's going to be Net Pro champion Crazo.
And guys, it's going to be a great night for you and every one of you to come on out there. And it looks like Kirk Santa throwing a little shade here one more time. Evan who? Seems like it seems like the Golden Kazana feud is still not done, and it may not be done even at New World Wrestling in the future.
I was hopeful to bring back the 3-Gen Express, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen again, Beaver. I mean, I watched a lot of that in School of Morton, and I was really hoping that we could see them all kind of make amends and not to he's kind of like Joe Hendry now, but you start talking about the shining light and Michael Gabriel pops up. But I was hoping that Kurt could see the light, and be the better person and see G3's dead. Come on. Man,
you heard it from the horse's mouth right there. Gen 3 Express is dead, he says. He said Evan and Michael ruined that. He is putting all the blame on Michael Gabriel and Evan Golden right here. I don't know if I believe that. I think that he was just as much to blame as both of those gentlemen there. And will there be a reunion one day? Possibly, but it's not going to be any day soon.
I got to get the band back together. Like, come on, man.
I don't know if we can see it happen. That would be a definite thing to see in the future, though, if it will ever happen in New World Wrestling or Prodigy Pro Wrestling or wherever professional wrestling is found for you in East Tennessee. You have to come out and join us. Join us this Friday in Briceville, Tennessee. You guys don't want to miss a minute of this high-flying action. Hey, we didn't even mention Get 'em Kilgore. Get 'em Kilgore is going to be having an excellent match as well. Talk about it for just a second.
Exactly, yeah. Hyper Rage, Chris Kendrick versus Get 'em Kilgore. That was one that like I said, me and Ryan were kind of confused about. I know Chris Kendrick, we were going to put him up against somebody else, but this little spreadsheet I got, something got changed on it, and now he is there. I don't know. Maybe it might have been a hack or AI or something, but we expect to see him there. I hope he shows up. If not, we'll have to find somebody else to go against him. But KC saying he's going to show up apparently. So I don't know. Maybe it might be KC Gazana versus Chris Kendrick at the end of the night. I don't even know anymore. I'm so stressed out, man.
I really don't know about that, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you that if you show up to see Chris Kendrick, if you show up to see the glitch in the Matrix, you're going to see something spectacular and special, something you've never seen before going to happen right before your eyes. Not only that, but you're going to have more than enough opportunity to see professional wrestling at its finest in East Tennessee, and that's exactly what you want to do this Friday for New World Wrestling. Show on up in Briceville, Tennessee, guys, and we will see you there. Hey, Stevie, absolutely. It's been a pleasure having you. Before we go, if anybody wants to book the Shotgun Stevie Spencer, how can they do it, sir?
First and foremost, go to our Facebook page, New World Wrestling, facebook.com/New World Wrestling. You can email me if you got any questions or anything. It's bookthatstevie@gmail. And then also I've got kind of my page, so to speak, Shotgun Stevie Spencer, that is taken on more of about the video production aspect for, shooting different events, music videos and such. But that's Shotgun Stevie Spencer on Facebook as well. If you want to talk shop, you got creative plans or anything like that, I'm all about it. I love that stuff. Reel me in, Pat, slide my DMs. We'll talk, I'm all about it. I want things to really take an upswing and take off in this area, because I think that some of the shows and some of the things that have happened, to have them and them not mean anything and to not be recorded is a disservice to everybody in the room when it takes place. That is the performers and that is the fans themselves, to not be able to look back on it and get them anywhere else. So that's something I'm really passionate about doing. So that I'm willing to work to make it great.
And that's exactly what it's about. It's about making professional wrestling great again inside of your territory, wherever you're at. And this Friday, it's going to be in Briceville, Tennessee. Come on out and join the show, be a part of it, and come see us. Hey, we're going to be there. That's right. Wrestle Talk with Rabbit Beaver is going to be at New World Wrestling this Friday. So come on out and say hi, and we'll have a lot of fun. And remember, we'll get slammed together, and you guys heard it here first on Wrestle Talk with Rabbit Beaver. Thank you, Stevie Spencer, for being here, and I hope to see you in the future, sir. And I'm definitely going to see you Friday.
Always buy the ticket, take the ride. You got any questions? I'm here to talk. Have a good one.
You too. Bye, guys. Y'all be safe.
Later.